Recently, virtual idol producer Chen Jun, former producer of the Thousand Birds girl group, took his newly launched project, Paradise, to accept an interview with the homeless star. The Chidori girl group was the first virtual team in China featuring esports, and was endorsed by three major capitals: Tencent Video, Original Force Animation, and Kodikawa Qingyu. However, the unsatisfactory results after their debut and the frequent conflicts between the people in the middle and the operation have made this girl group, and the team behind it, a lot of controversy, and it has also attracted a lot of heated discussions in the circle. As the producer of Chidori Girls Group, Chen Jun answered us a series of controversial questions about the period of Chidori Girls Group in the interview, and talked about his experience and thoughts on the operation of virtual idol girl groups, as well as some opinions on the virtual anchor industry. The opinion of the two virtual anchors of the Paradise, Yasha and Shino Lee, also introduced their feelings about their debut as a new virtual anchor for a month, their views on each other and their expectations for the future in the interview. I believe readers who are not familiar with them can have a general understanding of them after reading the interview. Some stories about the Chidori virtual girl group can be found in our previous column. The content is based on the public statements of both parties and netizens, and the possibility of an inaccuracy is not excluded. The following is the interview content. Q. As the initiator of the Chidori project, why did you position Chidori 1.0 as an esports team? If you now make a new positioning for Chidori 1.0 of the year, will there be any changes? Chen, at the beginning of the plan, I didn't want to do it in the direction of pure esports. In fact, what I wanted to do was just the feeling of a girl's dormitory, who likes to play games. It's like the atmosphere where a group of classmates gathered at someone's house to play games together, tackle key problems together and complain together. And from the perspective of playing games, I don't think girls are really much worse than boys. Take music games as an example. I personally like music games very much, and I know a lot of girls who are big touches, and they are often beaten up by them. But when I was looking for members in 2019, I found that there were very few people willing to do virtual live broadcasts, so we chatted about a real women's esports team by chance. The other party also expressed their willingness to help us find the right person. Under this opportunity, I said, let's just be an esports team. This is the position of the 1.0 esports team. 3 of the subsequent members came from this channel. When Chidori 2.0 was released, you can already see that we have removed this setting and are no longer called Chidori Team. Q. During the Chidori 1.0 period, there were 3 major capitals: Tencent, Kodikawa, The Force, jointly endorsed, but the final development did not go well. What do you think is the biggest problem? Chen, I prefer to call the so-called 3 capitals as 3 partners. Our relationship is not as simple as investment integration as people imagine. Chidori was planned and initiated when I was in the Force. Later, I chatted with a friend of Kodikawa about the idea of the project. He was also very interested and said that he could be responsible for the work related to graphic and subsequent publishing. After the production and publication, the platform was announced, so I found a small partner of Tencent with the plan and got support. This tripartite cooperation is a concept similar to the IP committee formed by the 3 companies sharing the IP Chidori, and then doing what they are good at in their respective fields. In this system, each company wants to do things without interfering with each other, but in the end, when the project is settled, the income is distributed according to the amount of effort. And to add, until today, the 3 partners have not said that one of them has taken the initiative to say that they will withdraw from the plan. Q. It was rumored back then that after watching the premiere of A Soul, you said Chidori was stable. Is this true? Chen, I said stable, but not when A Soul debuted, but when A Soul first revealed its characters. At that time, because our character design was released earlier than theirs, there was a sentence after my stable that will not be said to be plagiarized. Although it has become a confidence-famous saying that everyone often talks about, I still hope that everyone will not simply take it out of context in the future, haha. Q. What do you think is the main reason why A-Soul is more successful than Chidori? Chen, A-Soul's resources and preparations are much better than ours, no matter what. And although it seems to outsiders that we have 3 major capital endorsements, in fact, Chidori's overall investment scale is still no way to compare with A-Soul. Q. The contradictions between the operation and the people in the Chidori period broke out frequently, and even reached the point of irreconcilability in the end. What do you think are the main reasons for these contradictions? Chen, to talk about this issue, we must first talk about what a truly complete Chidori is like, and then let everyone make their own judgments. First of all, when it comes to Chidori, people often think that it is me and the team who are exploiting their members, but this is not the case. At the top of Chidori is the IP committee composed of tripartite companies, which is responsible for the division and approval of project planning, and external cooperation. Next is the company, which approves all related expenses and personnel arrangements. Then I and the operation team are responsible for the control and execution of the project direction. In this process, our operation is actually the same as that of migrant workers, and we do not have much autonomy. Then there is the investment of the project, whether it is outsourcing expenditure or equipment procurement or other demands, every penny needs to be reported for application and approval. After the approval, the company is also specially responsible for finding project outsourcing and equipment purchase price comparison. After the audit department has passed, there will be the process of the financial department. I'm not saying that the process is not good, but maybe a project like live broadcast is special. It needs a quick response rhythm. A traditional animation production company that is accustomed to using months and years as the unit must do daily or weekly administration. Efficiency conversion is indeed a bit difficult. When it comes to contradictions, whether it is in Chidori 1.0 or 2.0 period, their biggest appeal should be that the 80-hour live broadcast content is too heavy and needs to be reduced. However, we reached a consensus and signed an agreement for this length of time before they joined the company. In fact, the 2 groups of people showed this problem after a month or 2. This is indeed worth my reflection. Next, let's talk about the actual work. There are 6 people in total during the period when I was in charge of Chidori management and interns. Our plan after the 2.0 restart is to produce 2 sets of 2D models, a set of 3D models, the design and production of captain gifts, the production of group songs, etc. in half a year. It was done on time. And due to the problems in the process, the costs of peripheral production, express packaging and sending and receiving, audio and video, game software and hardware purchase, dormitory furniture purchase and regular cleaning, etc. are all the money that our operating partners advance together. At the end of the settlement, everyone has basically paid in advance ranging from a few thousand to tens of thousands. I am very grateful to everyone for this. In addition, I would like to mention the microphone storm at that time, because the microphone is an asset purchased through the company's equipment department. The depreciation replacement is subject to the approval of normal reasons. In order to replace the assets that have been used for less than a year, we invited 2 professional tuners to help them debug and confirm whether there is any problem. The feedback from the 2 tuners is that there is no problem with the normal equipment, which may be the parameters during use. It was not adjusted well, which made the operation team quite speechless. Therefore, from the perspective of the operation partners, they did their best behind the scenes, but in exchange, they were attacked one after another. The last is the most direct impact of Chidori's restart video rhythm on Songgren and the team. Q. The 2.0 reboot video produced by your operation team at the end of Chidori 1.0 caused a lot of controversy. What did you think about it at the time? Chen, that video was completely self-inflicted. The original intention of the video is to pave the way for 2.0, because after all, 1.0 has some loyal fan bases. One is to minimize the impact and protection of 2.0 newcomers, and the other is to create topics for them to attract passers-by traffic, but not for them. Topic to discuss. So I made that video to focus the mockery entirely on operations. But I didn't expect this to become a beginning, and this formed an expanding snowball effect in the fan group, that is, Chidori's operations are not personnel. The more fans use empathy to support the anchor, the more the anchor needs to cooperate with the fans' emotions, which will lead to deformed results in the end. Walking alone for thousands of miles has become a legend in the National V circle. Can you talk about the situation at that time from different perspectives? Chen, haha, first of all, I want everyone to ask themselves a question. Do you want the result of walking alone for 1,000 miles or not? If there is a 10-page PPT for walking alone for thousands of miles, the company thinks that it is completely correct and no problem. After this year, after the adjustment of Chidori's planning, operation and production, who will be responsible for this? If there is no single ride for thousands of miles and 10 pages of PPT, is whenying still the one you like? In fact, this situation can be better explained by directly interpreting the relationship between the romance of the Three Kingdoms and the Three Kingdoms. There is no right or wrong, it is only a result that everyone imagines. What is the official history? Let me share it with you from the perspective of objective facts. First of all, Wen Jing did not take the initiative, but was told to go to the headquarters to explain the situation. That day, the small partners of the operation team were also called to report. She was called from Xi'an during a leave of absence, and she also let go of the ticket herself. As far as I know, she has never lived, studied or worked in Xi'an. We all know that our team is in Shanghai. If you have ideas and preparations in advance, why go to a strange place to find inspiration? Moreover, my colleagues and I have never seen that PPT, but I still believe that she should have expressed her thoughts and demands for the development of Chidori, but everyone dramatically understood it as riding 1,000 miles alone. Most of the members of Chidori have achieved relatively good results after leaving. What do you think of their growth? Do you have anything to say to them? Chen, I feel very happy. In any case, apart from 2.0 Wenying, other people have no personal grudges towards me and I towards them. I have always been right to them and wrong to people. My sincere wishes for their growth. Congratulations. And I think they will definitely be able to grow to higher heights and see farther scenery. What I want to say is, if you think this industry is worth pursuing, then go for it. There may be sadness and sorrow, but you still have fans and friends who follow, just like I left everything related to Chidori in the end. People's words flying future. Going back to this park project, what route did the park take this time? Chen, Paradise doesn't feel like a girls' dormitory like Chidori, it's more realistic. What Paradise wants to convey to everyone is that the reality is not as beautiful as everyone expects, it is even cruel, struggling, and will be hurt, but we still have to face it and live strong. The so-called Paradise is actually a place where everyone warms up after being injured, a spiritual harbor that they yearn for. Both members have a sad past in terms of setting, but at the same time they will face the unknown future with their own attitude. Relatively speaking, Yusha will make people feel naive and simple. On the other hand, Sinan Karp is very realistic and expresses her own unique views very coldly. Therefore, the two of them have completely opposite views on things, but they are a pair of CPs who sympathize with each other. Recently, the media outside the circle think that virtual anchors mainly rely on rectification and vulgar content to attract traffic. What do you think of this? Chen, This topic is not just about virtual anchors. In fact, the industry of anchors has always been viewed by tinted glasses. I don't think rectification is a derogatory term. If it is a good job that abides by the law and is recognized by everyone, why not do more rectification? Of course, attracting traffic is a normal result. If it's a bad job, how can it attract traffic? You can't question the public's aesthetics, right? As for the three vulgars, everyone should boycott them spontaneously, but the reason why the media outside the circle is because they don't understand the real appearance of the industry, and only see these controversial content one-sidedly. They did not try to understand the virtual anchor, the reason why fans really like anchors. If you can become popular by relying on the three vulgars, then the virtual anchor is also very good, and it is not enough to draw more pictures. So they see the surface, but it must be the interesting soul that can make fans like it for a long time. Many people say that GOF does not have a virtual sense, and there is not much difference between it and live broadcasters. What do you think of this evaluation? Chen, I think a large part of the intuitive feeling lies in communication. You can communicate with a person. During the live broadcast, she will read your barrage communication. Usually, you can communicate in her dynamic. Even the interaction between fans will make you feel her authenticity. If you have a virtual sense, you can only watch it as a video, and maybe you can do it without communication. Of course, there is another implication that GOV may not be very good at playing the image setting. I think it is a matter of opinion in this regard. There may be 3 layers of images in being a V. The first layer is the real self, the second layer is the character setting, and the third layer is the image that the audience understands and wants. Most people may stay on the first layer, which is the layer that everyone feels that there is no virtual sense. It is better to stick to the second layer, but there are really not many countryversers who can reach the third layer, and the strength of Wenying is okay. As for the biggest feature of GOV, I think that the Chinese people speak Chinese. We share the same clan, the same language, and the same morality. We can deeply understand each other's emotions and respond to them. This is the biggest feature and advantage. Do you have any expectations for the future development of the park project? Chen, let's live, laughs. How big of a future plan do you really think? I had it when I was planning Chidori. Now in Paradise, everyone has already experienced it once, so it is quite normal. The team also has a better mentality, and the anchor also has a better mentality, so everything is expected. The 2 young ladies from the Paradise would like to introduce themselves to the readers of The Homeless. Yasha, hello, I am Yasha, a black and white tabby cat, and currently a virtual anchor who wants to bring you more happiness and company. Sinan Carp, I am the rotten Sinan Carp in everyone's mouth. Putting it down is really something that requires hard work. It takes great perseverance, determination and psychological endurance to cut off contact with some useless workers who waste their lives. It's been almost a month since the 2 debuted, how do you feel? Yasha, it can be said that it is a process of anxiety, happiness, and then the harvest of moving. After this month, I believe that my efforts will always pay off, that there will always be someone who likes me, and my true feelings will not be let down, so Yasha really wants to go far, far. Sinan Carp, I always felt that each live broadcast room was like an office building outside, and I couldn't tell the difference between them. But during this month, I met some people who got together and shared common happiness with each other, and then parted ways, blending into the night in different poses. Every befriend I have interacted with is already an acquaintance in my heart. I really appreciate all the support you have given me, it has given me a lot of strength and I am full of expectations for the future. How did the 2 of you spend your life outside the live broadcast? Yasha, actually, I'm still quite charged. I like to eat delicious food, go shopping, and watch movies of course, after finishing my work. Shino Koi, I was not born to be an activist, I usually dream at home. Occasionally go out and observe social human beings. It's just that in the past 2 years, everyone has been wearing masks, which is very unfriendly to me, laughs. At home, read famous novels or suspense mystery novels, look at the video book of hunting, watch documentaries, and write random things that can't be sent out. Q, as a CP group, how do you view each other? Yasha, Shino Lee is like my rebellious sister, a little rebellious, a little cute, what else can you do with her besides pampering her? The first impression is that she feels a little socially afraid, like the little sister next door. Poetry Carp, kind, laughs. Shazi is a positive and optimistic person. I have always said that she is a personality energy type player, very active, and insists on herself. The first impression is that I am very serious to the point of seriousness, and I have been taking notes with a notebook, but this seriousness will not make people bored, but will make people feel interesting. Q, there are many Let's See people in the anchor industry now. What do you two think of Let's See people? Yasha, thinking back now, most of the people who occupied my live broadcast room at the beginning were probably Let's See people, but it was this group of Let's See people who were only born for music who gave me so much company and touching, made me cry, and made me cry. I smile. No matter what the status of everyone in the live broadcast room is, those who can empathize with each other should be cherished. If Let's See people are born to pursue music, I only hope that I can have other reasons for them to fall in love. Shino Koi, I think everyone should be treated equally, no matter where they come from, whether they are male or female, no matter what kind of creature they are. A good happy person can promote everyone's relationship and break down the walls of the heart. Bad fun people have become a tool to attack others, trampling on other people's feelings, as if what they want is the wailing of others. Q, do you have any expectations for your future self? It can be done in all aspects. Yasha, I just want to live a good day with you, and accompany you to go far, no matter what achievements you have or haven't achieved, it doesn't matter. When we look back one day, we will be amazed at how much we are together long enough. Shino Lee, I hope that while I can work hard while wearing the stars and wearing the moon, I don't forget to move forward with my original intention and distant memories. I may not be able to seize every opportunity, I can take every step slowly and slowly, don't make myself very tired, and then I will only be in a daze. Many things seem to be obtainable, but can they be obtained? Even if they are obtained, how long can they have them? It depends on the fate. Cherish the people in front of you, take back the time you plan to give in the future, and be kind to yourself and the people around you. Don't live your previous time as hell just to get to heaven later.